everyone, welcome back to This Is You Vic. My name is Marissa. Today I'm just gonna tell you some stuff. I don't know, I think this is pretty cool. I'm gonna talk a little more about art and some mental health things. I brought that up a couple times before because that is my desired career path, which is art therapy. There's videos on that, you can go watch it. I won't explain it another time, but it's there if you want to watch it. A little bit of a preface for this: I struggle all the time with a lot of anxiety, and I have in my past struggled with a lot of depression at varying points in my life. Currently, we're on a good side of the coin, so thumbs up for that. I'm not sure how well I can generalize this, but I feel like for myself in psychology, that kind of drew me towards seeking out psychology as a undergrad, and then art therapy as a career and stuff past that, you know. Visual arts was my main way I was able to express myself in my low points. So with a little preface out of the way, let's look at some of the stuff I have made. Alright, I've scooched over a little bit so I can put things up here. First piece I'm going to share with you is a piece I did for extra credit. Yay, 2%. Extra credit part of Mind and Brain Psychology, my second year class. So the assignment was basically to take some kind of phenomenon and relate that back to parts of the brain, as it was Mind and Brain Psychology. Forgive me for looking down. I'm actually looking at it here because I don't have it over here in real life, so forgive me for that. The assignment was basically to relate different psychological phenomena in the brain to their actual brain parts. Usually nowadays, looking at psychological disorders, we take more of a cultural view, a physiological view, as well as a biological view, just to kind of round out, because so far no mental illness that we found has one specific cause and one specific treatment. You can see depression written in pink. So here we have circuitry between the amygdala and the, oh god, subangulate cortex is hyperactive. I don't say these words out loud very often, so forgive me for absolutely butchering the pronunciation of these parts of the brain. And you can see the parts of the brain sort of in the middle part here, where it's orange and it's kind of like the little squiggly line thing, which is basically like kind of like a, if you look at like EEGs and stuff, they have like the little brain activity and they kind of go da 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 da, and they kind of go like that. So I think that was my idea behind that. All the parts that I've highlighted in purple here are also kind of accompanying for different parts of depression. So that little EEG wave thing kind of goes between the amygdala and the, oh boy, subgenual cingulate cortex. And essentially, mood is decreased from hyperactivity between those two things. And at the top of the brain here, you can kind of see some little sad Marissas with, again, the EEG brain scan. Alright, so I have a second piece to show, and this one is from this semester. It is from my intro to drawing class, drawing and painting. And that week we were looking at sort of lines and what they kind of mean, and not having like explicitly written out things like this is this. It's more like this is kind of what the feeling evokes. So I'll quickly show you, this is the kind of board that I had made. We were given a bunch of different emotions, and they just said like, hey, draw some lines that you think symbolize this feeling, but not in a symbolic way, but in like a kind of, you know, go with the flow kind of way. And so with that one, I decided to again translate that one into a full-blown drawing of depression, and you can see the lines from the first one with all the little boxes and everything. They were the really hard and fast lines, kind of for me, symbolize depression, because for myself, depression was a very dark and fuzzy emotion, if I can put it into words. So with that, I kind of felt like it was like a blanket around me, and what else is a blanket around me? My hair. More when I had longer hair, but you know, that's okay. And I sort of want to translate that into the fuzzy feeling that we have in this drawing over here. So that is sort of myself giving an explanation and a small critique of my own art. Really, I think this is super cool. I'm just kind of here to like tell you some stuff, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, learned something about the brain, or learned something about like, I don't know, lines. I'm not quite sure, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys in the next video coming up.